Brothers and sisters, to increase your iman, read the miracle, recite the Qur'an. Recite it every day and do read it loud. The verses of Qur'an are all Muslims' pride. This miracle was revealed over a long time span, sent from Allah to an angel, then to a man. That man was Muhammad, the best of creation.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على نبيه ومصطفاه سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه وبعد. Dear viewers everywhere, welcome to a new meeting with correct recitation. Inshallah, as usual, we'll begin by listening to the ayat, which we hope to cover its meaning during this episode, inshallah Azza. Then afterward, in the next segment, we'll take your calls for those who would like to recite this ayat with us. Without any further ado, I would request Sheikh Ismail to recite today from ayah number 43 of Surat Az-Zareyaat. Please.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وفي ثمود إذ قيل لهم تمتعوا حتى حين فعتوا عن أمر ربهم فأخذتهم الصاعقة وهم ينظرون فما استطاعوا من قيام وما كانوا منتصرين وقوم نوح من قبل إنهم كانوا قوما فاسقين والسماء بنيناها بأيد وإنا لموسعون والأرض فرشناها فنعم الماهدون ومن كل شيء خلقنا زوجين لعلكم تذكرون ففروا إلى الله إني لكم منه نذير مبين ولا تجعلوا مع الله إلها آخر إني لكم منه نذير مبين كذلك ما أتى الذين من قبلهم من رسول إلا قالوا ساحر أو مجنون أتواصوا به بل هم قوم طاغون فتول عنهم فما أنت بملوم وذكر فإن الذكرى تنفع المؤمنين وما خلقت الجن والإنس إلا ليعبدون ما أريد منهم من رزق وما أريد أن يطعمون إن الله هو الرزاق ذو القوة المتين فإن للذين ظلموا ذنوبا مثل ذنوب أصحابهم فلا يستعجلون فويل للذين كفروا من
حسبك جزاك الله خيرا بارك الله فيكم. In ayah number 43, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continues to teach us about some of the perished nations. He started with the people of Lut, and he seconded that by addressing the fate of the Pharaoh and his hosts when they belied Prophet Musa and Harun. Then thirdly, he spoke about Ad, the people of Prophet Hud, and how they ended up destroyed with the wind, with the violent wind. And in this ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is speaking about Thamud, the people of Prophet Salih. Their story has been discussed in many chapters of the Qur'an all over. In this ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wrapped up their story and summarized it in only 3 ayat, 43, 44, and 45. وَفِي ثَمُودَ إِذْ قِيلَ لَهُمْ تَمَتَّعُوا حَتَّى حِينٍ. And with regards to the people of Salih, people of Thamud, of Prophet Salih, what happened to them when they were told, enjoy yourselves in your abode for a while. تَمَتَّعُوا حَتَّى حِينٍ. That's basically the last chapter of their story, because it has been discussed in many places in the Qur'an, in Surah Hud, in Surah Al-Shams, and so on. Salih alayhi salam invited Thamud to believe in the oneness of Allah. They belied him, and they demanded a miracle so that they believed that he is a prophet, and they promised. And the interesting part is that they demanded a very weird miracle to believe that he is a prophet. They looked into a rock and they said, could you bring a she-camel out of this dead rock? Not only a she-camel, could you make sure also that the she-camel which would evolve out of the rock is also pregnant? So Salih alayhi salam invoked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah delivered. What happened? Instead of believing in Salih, rather they disbelieved and they showed arrogance, and they killed the she-camel. Again, the story is in brief. So they killed the she-camel. When they killed the she-camel, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala informed his Prophet Salih alayhi salam to tell them, تَمَتَّعُوا فِي دَارِكُمْ ثَلَاثَةَ أَيَّامٍ. Enjoy yourselves in your abode, in your homes, only for 3 days. You only have 3 days to live. Then afterward, you cannot expect what's going to happen to you because of your disbelief. In Surah Hud, in ayah number 65, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in line with this ayah, فَعَقَرُوهَا فَقَالَ تَمَتَّعُوا فِي دَارِكُمْ ثَلَاثَةَ أَيَّامٍ ذَلِكَ وَعْدٌ غَيْرٌ مَكْذُوبٌ. فَعَقَرُوهَا, they slain the she-camel. فَقَالَ تَمَتَّعُوا فِي دَارِكُمْ. In the ayah of 43 of Az-Zareyaat, إِذْ قِيلَ لَهُمْ تَمَتَّعُوا حَتَّى حِينٍ. Enjoy yourselves for a while. How long? That was explained in 65 of Surah Hud. ثلاثة أيام, only 3 days. ثلاثة أيام. ذلك وعد غير مكذوب. That is a promise which will definitely be fulfilled. It will not be broken. What happened? فلما جاء أمرنا, when our decision has come to destroy them, نجينا صالحا والذين آمنوا معه برحمة منا ومن خزي يومئذ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saved Prophet Salih and a few believers along with him from the torment and from the disgrace of the day. Then afterward, what happened to the wrongdoers, the disbelievers who slain the she-camel? They demanded this miracle, and there you got it. And by the way, the she-camel was providing them for milk enough for everyone in the village. But it is arrogance and disbelief. Their hearts were full of hatred, so they slain them. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَأَخَذَ الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا الصَّيْحَةِ. In ayah number 67. وَأَخَذَ الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا الصَّيْحَةُ فَأَصْبَحُوا فِي دَارِهِمْ جَاثِمِينَ. The word as-sayha has been used in the Qur'an in 13 positions. فأخذ الذين ظلموا الصيحة فأصبحوا في ديارهم جاثمين. The word sayha has been mentioned 13 times in the Qur'an. In Surah Az-Zareyaat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about the kind of punishment or torment which perished the people of Salih, Thamud, by using the word as-sa'iqah. And as-sa'iqah has been mentioned in the Qur'an in 3 positions: in Surah Al-Baqarah, in Surah Al-Nisa, and in Surah Az-Zareyaat. Whether as-sa'iqah or as-sayha, whether it's a thunderbolt or a thunder along with fire that comes from heaven that destroys everything, of course the disbelievers and their belonging, or any sort of punishment, shock and awe, a scream out loud that they killed them all. وأخذ الذين ظلموا الصيحة فأصبحوا في ديارهم جاثمين, which means they were motionless. Whilst in ayah number 44 in Surah Az-Zareyaat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَعَتَوْا عَنْ أَمْرِ رَبِّهِمْ فَأَخَذَتْهُمُ الصَّاعِقَةُ وَهُمْ يَنظُرُونَ. They were looking at the torment as it was approaching them. Then when they defied the command of the Lord, الصَّاعِقَةُ overtook them while they were looking. فَمَا اسْتَطَاعُوا مِنْ قِيَامٍ وَمَا كَانُوا مُنْتَصِرِينَ. They were neither able to stand up, to rise up. They just stayed there until they were destroyed. That is the serious shock and awe, because it's coming from Allah, from heaven. No one can escape it. وَمَا كَانُوا مُنْتَصِرِينَ. Nor could they help themselves, and no one could help them either. But according to Surah Hud, نَجَّيْنَا صَالِحًا وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مَعْهُ. We saved and we spared Salih and a few believers along with him. So this kind of torment which perished the whole nation is directed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and selectively chooses certain people to be destroyed while others to be saved, while they were all in the same place. Like what happened with Lut alayhi salam. We discussed that earlier. Ibrahim alayhi salam was so worried that when the angels were destroying the people of Sodomy and this village, that they may destroy Lut alayhi salam and his daughters, and they were believers. قَالَ إِنَّ فِيهَا لُوطًا. No, don't do that. Lut is there. They said, don't worry about it. نَحْنُ أَعْلَمُ بِمَنْ فِيهَا. We know better who's there and who's not. لَنُنَجِّيَنَّهُ وَأَهْلَهَا. Certainly we'll save him and his family. They refer to his daughters. But his wife, she will be one of those who will be destroyed. Subhanallah. Now, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about another perished nation in ayah number 46, the people of Nuh alayhi salam, the first prophet, the prophet whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent to revive monotheism after his people started worshipping idols. Then what happened? From Adam alayhi salam all the way almost 1,000 years afterward, people were monotheistic. Then a shaitan and his host deceived them, and he made them worship idols, etc. So Nuh alayhi salam was sent, and he stayed preaching his people. فَلَبِثَ فِيهِمْ أَلْفَ سَنَةٍ إِلَّا 50 عَامًا. 950 years. Restless preaching. He said, I have called them day and night, لَيْلًا وَنَهَارًا. I have called them in open, in public, and in private. I have invited them by every possible means. Then finally he said, Ya Rabbi. In Surah Nuh, there is a whole chapter in the Qur'an, it's called Surah Nuh, in ayah number 26. وَقَالَ نُوحُ الرَّبِّ لَا تَذَرْ عَلَى الْأَرْضِ مِنَ الْكَافِرِينَ دَيَّارًا إِنَّكَ إِن تَذَرْهُمْ يُضِلُّ عِبَادَكَ وَلَا يَلِدُوا إِلَّا فَاجِرًا كَفَّارًا. He had it with them. He said, that's it. 950 years. Very few responded to Nuh alayhi salam. Amongst those who were destroyed, his son and his wife. And we studied before that the fate of Lut's wife and Nuh's wife, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, ضَرَبَ اللَّهُ مَثَلًا لِلَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا امْرَأَةَ نُوحٍ وَامْرَأَةَ Lut, the two wives of Nuh and Lut in perspective. And his son too, when he was around, he said, سَآوِي إِلَى جَبَلٍ يَعْصِمُنِي مِنَ الْمَاءِ. Nuh called on his son and said, يَا بُنَيَّ ارْكَبْ مَعَنَا. Come and ride with us. Get on board. He said, no. سآوي إلى جبل يعصمني من الماء. I'm going to take a shelter in one of the mountains to protect myself from the water. I won't be drowned. He said, you don't get it. لا عاصم اليوم من أمر الله إلا من رحم. No one will be saved today. This is from Allah. This is not a regular rain or hurricane or a flood. This is a torment that will perish the whole people. إلا من رحم, except for those whom Allah will have mercy on. وحال بينهما الموج فكان من المغرقين. Then a huge wave came and separated them, and his son was drowned, and he ended up in hell. وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ. وَقَوْمَ نُوحٍ مِّن قَبْلِ, they were destroyed too. Why? Because إِنَّهُمْ كَانُوا قَوْمًا فَاسِقِينَ, and because they were rebellious people. In the case of Nuh alayhi salam, he satisfied with mentioning one ayah, because his story has been discussed repeatedly in many other places in the Qur'an. So all the previous ayat, and again, I like to confirm, I don't like to use the word verse, because verse does not describe the ayah. It is one of the meanings of the word ayah. Ayah is not only a segment or a phrase in the Qur'an. Ayah is a sign. Ayah is a miracle. Ayah is a proof to the oneness of Allah. Ayah is a proof that we're created to worship Him. Ayah is a proof that there will be a day of reckoning and resurrection. So after the previous ayat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving hints and warnings, open warnings, to Quraysh, to the Meccan pagans and those who will come after them. If you do not believe in this messenger of mine, if you do not follow this prophet, the last prophet to mankind, your fate will be similar to the fate of the perished nations before you. They were much more powerful than you. They were much more advanced than you. ألم ترى كيف فعل ربك بعاد التي لم يخلق مثلها في البلاد وثمود الذين جابوا الصخر بالواد وفرعون ذي الأوتاد. Allah mentioned 3 powerful nations. What happened to them? Perished. They were destroyed due to their disbelief. So you, some Arab and Bedouins living in the desert, you should be grateful to Allah or else. And furthermore, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us some more dala'il, some more indications, some more references and miracles, this time scientific miracles. Perhaps the Meccans and people for over 1,000 years wouldn't comprehend the meaning of the following ayah. But the time will come where those who believe that they are the most sophisticated scientists and have discovered and invented the most sophisticated telescopes, and they believe that science proves that this universe was created as a result of an accident, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala humiliates their arrogance by challenging them with the Qur'an that has been revealed 1400 years ago on an illiterate man, just to tell them and tell us and tell everybody, this word is mine and I am your creator, whether you like it or not. Take the following proof. وَالسَّمَاءَ بَنَيْنَاهَا بِأَيْدٍ وَإِنَّا لَمُوسِعُونَ. Allahu Akbar. In brothers and sisters, if we only have this ayah, it should be more than sufficient. Let's speak to any atheist and say, what do you know about Edwin Hubble? Those who study science must have studied about Edwin Hubble. He's an American astronomer who excelled in astrophysics to the extent that they call the telescope that invented and NASA is relying on in his name, Apple's telescope. Edwin basically discovered the greatest observation in the 21st century. That was in 1929, when he found that the recessional velocity of a galaxy increases with its distance from the Earth, implying the following fact, that the universe is definitely expanding. Wow, good for you. Okay, if you guys believe so, and if you believe this is a scientific theory, and that is, if you look in the Wikipedia, you'll find that that is the greatest discovery in the 20th century. Correct. The Qur'an actually addressed that with more accurate details 1400 years ago. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, do you see this perfect sky, this perfect heaven? I created it with strength, with power. Not only that, take this hint, وَإِنَّا لَمُوسِعُونَ. We created it, and we are its expanders. What do you mean? Do you mean that the universe is expanding? This is what science says. The theory says that the universe is expanding. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says even more accurate scientific term, which is لَمُوسِعُونَ, expanding its space. Because the size of the planets, the stars and galaxies, the volume does not actually expand. But rather, according to the discovery, the distance between them expanding. So the universe, the space is encompassing all of that. And it will continue to expand every minute, thousands of kilometers. Furthermore, it will continue to expand until the space cannot take it anymore. So when this happens, it returns to point zero. This is when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in ayah number 104 of Surah Al-Anbiya, يَوْمَ نَطْوِي السَّمَاءَ كَطَيِّ السِّجِلِّ لِلْكُتُبِ كَمَا بَدَأْنَا أَوَّلَ خَلْقٍ نُعِيدُهُ وَعْدًا عَلَيْنَا إِنَّا كُنَّا فَاعِلِينَ. Hey, wait a minute, what does this mean? Okay, look at me. يَوْمَ نَطْوِي السَّمَاءَ كَطَيِّ السِّجِلِّ لِلْكُتُبِ. On the day when we will fold up and roll up the heavens, as-sama will be rolled up, yeah, like the rolling of what? Like the rolling of a scroll of writings. كَمَا بَدَأْنَا أَوَّلَ خَلْقٍ نُعِيدُ. As we started and we originated the creation from the beginning, we will recreate it, reinstate it, restructure it. وَعْدًا عَلَيْنَا. That's a promise. It will happen. إِنَّا كُنَّا فَاعِلِينَ. Yes, certainly we will do so. يَوْمَ نَطْوِي السَّمَاءَ كَطَيِّ السِّجِلِّ لِلْكُتُبِ. Look, this is a sijil, the scrolling of writing. The sama with its vastness will be rolled up. That's it. It is the end of life. So scientists have concluded that this expansion in the distance between the galaxies and the stars will continue to go on and on. It has been happening ever since the Big Bang. Yeah, there was a Big Bang. Our Big Bang is described in the Qur'an. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أَوَلَمْ يَرَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا أَنَّ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضَ كَانَتَا رَتْقًا فَفَتَقْنَاهُمَا وَجَعَلْنَا مِنَ الْمَاءِ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ حَيٍّ أَفَلَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. This is ayah number 30 of Surah Al-Anbiya again. The surah which talked about many prophets. That's why it's called Al-Anbiya. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provided us with scientific references and miracles one after another. Why? In order to recognize that along with sending the Anbiya, the prophets, Allah also supported them with miracles, and some of these miracles are actually everlasting. The everlasting miracle is the Qur'an. Qur'an does not only coincide with science, it challenges science. Because keep learning, keep studying. وَمَا أُوتِيتُم مِّنَ الْعِلْمِ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا. All the knowledge that you acquire is just a very little. Something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allows you to recognize His oneness with. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Fussilat, سَنُرِيهِمْ آيَاتِنَا فِي الْآفَاقِ وَفِي أَنفُسِهِمْ حَتَّى يَتَبَيَّنَ لَهُمْ أَنَّهُ الْحَقِّ أَوَلَمْ يَكْفِ بِرَبِّكَ أَنَّهُ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ شَهِيدٌ. We shall show them our signs, our proofs of the oneness of Allah, of the Lordship of Allah, that He is a creator. Where? Where can we find those signs? Well, are you blind? Don't you see? فِي الْآفَاقِ. In the entire universe. إِنَّ فِي خَلْقِ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَاخْتِلَافِ اللَّيْلِ وَالنَّهَارِ لَآيَاتٍ لِقَوْمٍ يَتَفَكَّرُونَ. In the creation of the heavens and the earth, and in the alternation of the day and the night, in the sun and the moon rotating in their orbits by the leave of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These are all ayat for people who think, for people who ponder. الَّذِي خَلَقَ سَبْعَ سَمَاوَاتٍ طِبَاقًا. We only know that there is a sky, there is heaven. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us about what is beyond that, that as-sama is not only one layer, and similarly al-ard. خلق سبع سماوات طباقا. He created 7 heavens, 7 layers of as-sama. ما ترى في خلق الرحمن من تفاوت. You never see any drawbacks or any errors in the creation of the most beneficent. فارجع البصر هل ترى من فطور ثم ارجع البصر كرتين ينقلب إليك البصر خاسئا وهو حسير. Look and look again and look again, over and over and over. Do you see any errors, any drawbacks in the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Allah is challenging us. So when we come to the conclusion that imply the fact, no, Allah's creation or this creation is perfect, don't you think that according to the law of cause and effect that this universe has to have a finder? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, don't you see that أَوَلَمْ يَرَى الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا, don't the disbelievers see that السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ, the heavens and the earth were joined together as one part, رَتْقًا فَفَتَقْنَاهُمَا, so we separated them, we opened them up. They were a joint entity, we opened them up, and the expansion is going on. The expansion in the distance between the galaxies under the sky is going on and on until يَوْمَ نَطْوِ السَّمَاءَ كَطَيِّ السِّجِلِّ لِلْكُتُبِ. Look at the beautiful Qur'an. Finally with the last ayah, وَالْأَرْضَ فَرَشْنَاهَا فَنِعْمَ الْمَاهِدُونَ, and we spread the earth, we made it easy for you to walk on and to earn your provision. وَالَّذِي جَعَلَ لَكُمُ الْأَرْضَ ذَلُولًا فَامْشُوا فِي مَنَاكِبِهَا وَكُلُوا مِنْ رِزْقِهِ وَإِلَيْهِ النُّشُورُ. He is the one who made the earth subservient to you. He allowed us to walk on earth, plant our foods and vegetations, and earn our provision, and do the mining, and enjoy the creation of Allah. He made al-ard subservient to us. فَامْشُوا فِي مَنَاكِبِهَا وَكُلُوا مِنْ رِزْقِهِ وَإِلَيْهِ النُّشُورُ. But meanwhile, you have to remember that after all of that, إِلَيْهِ النُّشُورُ, unto Him is the resurrection. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم. We'll take a short break and we'll be back in a couple of minutes. Please stay tuned.
Recite it every day and do read it loud.
We're still at the dentist clinic. Dr. Ashraf is our host. Dr. Ashraf, now you have the patient, and we've been talking about the sterilization and the care for the tools, either the disposables and the non-disposables. And one of the very important, most advanced tools for the dentist is the microscope.
And one of these things is very important, that we can take this image and we can freeze it so that my patient can join me and discuss with me the different treatment options that we have.
Being exposed to burn is considered to be a catastrophe, and some people would have the burn at home, some others would be exposed to it in the streets and at work as a factory or other places. And learning how to deal with the burn and how to manage the case, either going to the doctor or just to manage it as an emergency and then going to a specialized person to deal with it, is a mandatory for all of us.
This is one of the most dangerous causes of burn, because I'm not only exposed to the heat, I'm exposed to smokes. These smokes may aid to the injury of the skin.
Recite it every day and do read it loud.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back. Inshallah, today we're reading from number 43. Basically, I was under the impression that last episode I would wrap the whole surah up. I would finish the meaning of the whole surah, and that's why I requested Sheikh Ismail to recite the remaining ayat. Then, subhanallah, we just covered a few ayat last time up to 42. And this time I also thought that we'll cover the whole remaining part of the surah. But I don't mind, I'm not on a hurry. basically, alhamdulillah, shukla, as long as we live, the luxury of this life is to spend it in making dhikr, in learning, in getting closer and closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it doesn't matter. We're not racing against time. We're not in a hurry. So if we spend the whole episode explaining one ayah, yani basically the ayah of 47, وَالسَّمَاءَ بَنَيْنَاهَا بِأَيْدٍ وَإِنَّا لَمُوسِعُونَ, I wish I could show you some slides and videos of these discoveries, scientific discoveries of astrophysics, and also invite astronomers to speak about it. Furthermore, the ayah of number 50, فَفِرُّوا إِلَى اللَّهِ إِنِّي لَكُمْ مِنْهُ نَذِيرٌ مُبِينٌ, I would love to spend the whole episode speaking about the meaning of فَفِرُّوا إِلَى اللَّهِ. I can definitely, not necessarily me, we can definitely present a whole program, a whole series, only on the ayah of فَفِرُّوا إِلَى اللَّهِ. But our phone numbers with the air code 002-0238-555-248 or 249, and the email address is tajweed@huda.tv. And I would welcome any scientists who would like to participate in the program or also benefit us with some of their discoveries in the fields that would help us to understand and explain, of course, to non-Muslims how perfect is this deen and the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. First caller. Haukar from Iraq. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brother Haukar. How are you?
How are you, man?
I'm fine, alhamdulillah, shukrullah. I guess you're calling from Kurdistan, Iraq.
Thanks for this nice program.
Thank you, brother. Barakallah feek wa jazakallah khairan. Today we're reading from ayah number 43. وَفِي ثَمُودَ إِذْ قِيلَ لَهُمْ تَمَتَّعُوا حَتَّى حِينٍ.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. وفي ثمود إذ قيل لهم تمتعوا حتى حين فعتوا الصاعقة وهم ينظرون فما استطاعوا من قيام وما كانوا منتصرين وقوم نوح من قبل إنهم كانوا قوما فاسقين والسماء بنيناها بأيد وإنا لموسعون والأرض فرشناها فنعم الماهدون ومن كل شيء خلقنا زوجين لعلكم تذكرون ففروا إلى الله إني لكم منه نذير مبين.
لا بأس حسبك ما شاء الله. Very good. Barakallah feek, brother Haukar from Iraq. And he stopped at an ayah which I like so much. فَفِرُّوا إِلَى اللَّهِ إِنِّي لَكُمْ مِنْهُ نَذِيرٌ مُبِينٌ. Kan'an is our guest today from Bosnia. He is going to continue from ayah number 51. وَلَا تَجْعَلُوا مَعَ اللَّهِ إِلَهًا آخَرَ.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. ولا تجعلوا مع الله إلها آخر إني لكم منه نذير مبين. كذلك ما أتى الذين من قبلهم من رسول إلا قالوا ساحر أو مجنون أتواصوا به بل هم قوم طاغون فتول عنهم فما أنت بملوم وذكر فإن الذكرى تنفع المؤمنين وما خلقت الجن والإنس إلا ليعبدون ما أريد منهم من رزق وما أريد أن يطعمون إن الله هو الرزاق ذو القوة المتين فإن للذين ظلموا ذنوبا مثل ذنوب أصحابهم فلا يستعجلون فويل للذين كفروا من يومهم الذي يوعدون.
حسبك. بارك الله فيك Hakan. No comment, but mashallah, very good. بارك الله فيك. Samir from ayah number 43, please.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وفي ثمود إذ قيل لهم تمتعوا حتى حين فعتوا عن أمر ربهم فأخذتهم الصاعقة وهم ينظرون فما استطاعوا من قيام وما كانوا منتصرين وقوم نوح من قبل إنهم كانوا قوما فاسقين والسماء بنيناها بأيد وإنا لموسعون والأرض فرشناها فنعم الماهدون ومن كل شيء خلقنا زوجين لعلكم تذكرون ففروا إلى الله إني لكم منه نذير مبين ولا تجعلوا مع الله إلها آخر إني لكم منه نذير مبين كذلك ما أتى الذين من قبلهم من رسول إلا قالوا ساحر أو مجنون أتواصوا به بل هم قوم طاغون فتول عنهم فما أنت بملوم وذكر فإن الذكرى تنفع المؤمنين وما خلقت الجن والإنس إلا ليعبدون ما أريد منهم من رزق وما أريد أن يطعمون إن الله هو الرزاق ذو القوة المتين فإن للذين ظلموا ذنوبا مثل ذنوب أصحابهم فلا يستعجلون فويل للذين كفروا من يومهم الذي يوعدون.
حسبك يا سمير. ما شاء الله. جزاك الله خيرا. Bilal from the KSA. Assalamu alaikum and thank you for waiting. From ayah number 43 please. وفي ثمود إذ قيل لهم.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. From which ayah?
43 وفي ثمود إذ قيل لهم تمتعوا حتى حين. It's on the screen.
43.
Yeah. Because the number appears by the end of the ayah, not before it. يا بلال.
Hello?
نعم. وفي ثمود. The number, as you say repeatedly, comes by the end of the ayah, not before it. So 43 is وفي ثمود إذ قيل لهم تمتعوا حتى حين. طيب. No problem. You can try again, Bilal, for the sake of time. And before I take Brother Muhammad, where I ask him to read, maybe I can go on with the following couple of ayat, in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمِن كُلِّ شَيْءٍ خَلَقَنَا زَوْجَيْنِ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَذَكَّرُونَ. Of everything Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created, He created in pairs, male and female. Of everything, yes, of everything. Subhanallah. To the extent that in the bacteria we have gram-positive and gram-negative, in electricity we have cathode and anode, and so on. Everything. Subhanallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says also in Surah Yasin, خَلَقَ الْأَزْوَاجَ كُلَّهَا مِمَّا تُنْبِتُ الْأَرْضِ وَمِنْ أَنفُسِهِمْ وَمِمَّا لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. Then he started that by saying, Subhana. He stated that He is the one who created everything in pairs. The fruits, the plants, the vegetations, the trees, male and female. Human beings, male and female. Jinn, male and female. وَمِمَّا تُنْبِتُ الْأَرْضِ, as we said, whatever the earth produces. وَمِمَّا لَا يَعْلَمُونَ, and of other things which they do not know. We only discovered that there's something called virus or bacteria recently, but before that they have no idea. And I'm pretty sure there are many things to be discovered. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Subhana الذي خلق الأزواج كلها مما تنبت الأرض ومن أنفسهم ومما لا يعلمون. In Surah Yasin. Glory be to Him. He is free from any imperfection. He is the most perfect. Subhana. Glory be to Him. The one who created all pairs. مما تنبت الأرض. Everything in pairs, from whatever the earth produces. And within our souls, ourselves. وَمِمَّا لَا يَعْلَمُونَ, and of what they know not. He says here in ayah number 49, وَمِن كُلِّ شَيْءٍ خَلَقَنَا زَوْجَيْنِ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَذَكَّرُونَ, that you may remember. For those who say it all happened by accident, by chance, and no founder, do you know why they adopt such false and fake theory? Why? Because they don't want to believe that there will be hisab. They cannot imagine that whatever we do of bad, we will be resurrected after death, and once again will be accounted and will be rewarded or punished. No, they dismiss all of that. So how do you dismiss all of that? Simply say, whatever we live right now is just a play. It's like a movie. It happened out of accident, and whatever happens afterward, that's it. Whoever dies will never return back to life. The Qur'an recorded their statement in the past, and this is what they keep reiterating over and over today. They said, إِنْ هِيَ إِلَّا حَيَاتُنَا الدُّنْيَا نَمُوتُ وَنَحْيَا وَمَا نَحْنُ بِمَبْعُوثِينَ. They say that is the only life that we're going to live. Once we die, we will never be resurrected again. That's why you find aggressors. That's why you find violent people who do not mind serial killers. If a person were to imagine that for anything you do, if you hurt an animal, you will be punished for it. If not in this dunya, you will be punished on the hereafter. And the punishment of the hereafter is way severer, beyond imagination. And the disbelievers would reside therein forever in the fire of hell. I definitely believe they would think 100 times before transgressing against others. That's why after all what Allah discussed, go to ayah number 56, the conclusion. What does this all imply? It implies وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. I have not created the jinn and the ins, but to worship me. And there I provided them with references from the past, with a present prophet and miracles, and with a future evidences. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us to His straight path and keep us all steadfast on الصراط المستقيم. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم وصلى الله على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. And until next time, السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Brothers and sisters, to increase your iman, read the miracle, recite the Qur'an. Recite it every day and do read it loud. The verses of Qur'an are all Muslims' pride. This miracle was revealed over a long time span, sent from Allah to an angel, then to a man. That man was Muhammad, the best of creation. We were chosen to be part of His nation. He gave us a message, and that was Islam. So read this miracle, recite the Qur'an.